Man, this movie is... it's disappointingly dull. So Peter Pan and Wendy is Disney's latest live-action version of one of their animated movies. And in a movie called Peter Pan and Wendy, this show is absolutely stolen by Jude Law, who is Captain Hook. Now, I grew up on Hook with Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Bob Hoskins, and Hoffman's Hook is just amazing. He is both serious and he's hysterical. He absolutely hams it up, and he's brilliant. Jude Law, completely different take. Instead of a kind of a douche who's out for revenge against a child, he is kind of a douche who's out for revenge against a child, but there's also a lot of sympathy for Hook. We learn more about his backstory here, and it's really fucking sad. And at one point, Peter tells Hook, "Think happy thoughts." And Hook goes, "I haven't got any." And that's just so depressing that it makes me be on Hook's side. But that's also how good Jude Law was here. Alexander Maloney is the new Peter Pan. I think he does well. He kind of comes off as kind of a little asshole at times, but yeah, I think he does well. Ever Anderson is the new Wendy, and I'm watching this movie thinking, why does she look so goddamn familiar? She's the daughter of Mila Jovovich. That's why she looks familiar. But yeah, I think she's a great Wendy. Yara Shahidi is the new Tinkerbell. And, you know, honestly, I think she's leagues better than Julia Roberts, so that doesn't really say much, because Julia Roberts was just kind of Tinker hell, if you're my age and you're old enough to remember that. But what was so good about her performance is that while she does talk, you don't actually hear her speak. It's just like all like bells, because I guess they talk so softly you can't really hear them, fairies. So everything with her is like mostly through facial expressions and body language, and I think she portrays it very well. And then there's my great disappointment in this movie in Jim Gaffigan as Smee. I was hoping that as a comedic actor, we'd get something along the lines of Bob Hoskins from Hook. I knew it wouldn't be exactly the same. I knew it wouldn't even be similar, because this is a completely different take on the story. But as a comedian, I was hoping he would be funny, and Gaffigan is just kind of there. And while there is a very cool climax, like how they go about it with the fights and the ship, and I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it yet, but it's really cool how they go about it. But the movie as a whole is just kind of dull, and I feel like they rushed the story. We start off like every other Peter Pan movie, where we're in the bedroom of the darlings, Wendy, John, and Michael, and all of a sudden Peter Pan shows up, whisks them away to Neverland, and then boom, adventure. Like immediately, like there's no backstories to like anything except for Captain Hook, when we learn that a little later in the movie. And it's just, I don't know, the way they go about it was just kind of boring, and it was disappointing. Ultimately, Peter Pan and Wendy, I don't know, it continues a trend in Disney live-action remakes that it's like, y'all should stop. Though at least this time they were smart enough not to put it in theaters. It went straight to Disney+. And while I do think it is overall well acted, again, the story is dull and boring. The CGI is a bit of a mixed bag. Like, there's times where it looks great, and there's times where it looks terrible. Like, the flying, when the kids are flying, that looks so cool. But then we see the crocodile, and it's a CGI monstrosity. Honestly, if it wasn't for Jude Law as Captain Hook, this movie would probably be a total suckfest. Maybe not a total suckfest, but it's just, I wouldn't be giving it as high a grade as I am. I give Peter Pan and Wendy a C+.
Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.